There's a lot of My Little Pony content out there. Like, a lot. And since I joined the fandom a couple years ago, almost every month I find some new special or miniseries I've never heard of. So as I was wrapping up another year on the fandom train, I wondered just how close to the bottom I really am. So I decided, you know what? Give me all of it. After a couple weeks spent watching every piece of My Little Pony media in existence, I've created what I'm pretty confident is the master list. An exhaustive minute-by-minute breakdown of every show, movie, special, side series, spin-off, song, webisode, and podcast officially released by Hasbro or any of its official subsidiaries. I didn't include any video games, books, comics, or promotional artwork because I wanted to focus on passive media that could be experienced with a definite start and finish that I could put a time value on. And with one notorious exception, I also didn't count any toy ads, TV spots, or promotional videos, since those are almost always built from existing assets like show clips and sound bites. I'll drop some opinions here or there, but the focus here was on casting a wider net rather than a deep one. My Little Pony media began on April 14th, 1984 with a 22-minute TV special, Rescue from Midnight Castle, sometimes called Rescue at Midnight Castle or Escape from Midnight Castle. Some of the ponies in Dream Valley get abducted by a way scarier Lord T-Rex, so Firefly travels to the human world and finds a girl named Megan to help her free her friends. This was followed up in 1985 with another 22-minute special called Escape from Catrina. An evil Catwoman has kidnapped creatures called Bushwillies and forced them to brew a potion to make her stronger. In 1986, My Little Pony the movie received a theatrical release and performed extremely poorly despite a spirited performance from first build actor Danny DeVito as the Grumble King. Despite the failure of this and the adjacent 1986 Transformers film, which is dumb and loud and awesome and you should go watch it, the movie was succeeded 3 months later by the franchise's first TV series. My Little Pony the TV series ran for 65 episodes, but I only have enough room in my heart to give it credit for 61 episodes, since the last 2 episodes of each of the show's 2 seasons are literally just the first 2 specials, Escape from Rainbow Castle and Escape from Catrina, trimmed down and repackaged to fit into episode slots. This feels pretty lazy to me, but I'm pretty sure it was done to get the episode up to that magic number with the limited budget the show had. After the first TV show wrapped in 1987, the franchise went dark for about 5 years before resurfacing in 1992 as My Little Pony Tales, a sort of sequel series with new designs for the main cast. This iteration's initial broadcast ran on Disney Channel for 26 episodes over 5 months in 1992 and then nothing. Generation 2 was released during the mid to late 1990s and for whatever reason never got any visual media of its own. The only notable piece of media it got outside of the toy line that I could find was a Tamagotchi-style pony raising simulator called My Little Pony Friendship Gardens, where you get to name and raise your own pony. Generation 3 ran from 2003 to 2009, and while it didn't get a dedicated TV series and Hasbro canceled a planned 2003 movie, what it did get were plenty of straight-to-DVD specials. Over 6 years, My Little Pony released at least a dozen standalone specials, including A Charming Birthday, Dancing in the Clouds, Friends Are Never Far Away, A Very Minty Christmas, The Princess Promenade, The Runaway Rainbow, A Very Pony Place, Pinkie Pie's Special Day, Meet the Ponies, Star Song and the Magic Dance Shoes, Rainbow Dash's Special Day, Twinkle Wish Adventure, Sweetie Belle's Gumball House Surprise, and Pinkie Pie's Ferris Wheel Adventure. On top of that, several of these shorts came attached with their own smaller short packed in, only sometimes related to the main special on the disc. There was also a brief experimentation with Adobe Flash called Once Upon a My Little Pony Time that was used to market the new Newborn Cuties toy line. It contained 2 10-minute shorts, Over the Rainbows and So Many Different Ways to Play, which are unremarkable but lead the way towards showing the power of the engine in just a couple years. But if there's one piece of media I recommend you check out after this video is over, here you go.
Good morning, Pinkie Pie! Oh, good morning, my little breezy friends!
My Little Pony Live, the world's biggest tea party, is a 73-minute taping of a stage show that ran from 2006 to 2008, based on characters from the third generation. The ponies get bored and decide to throw the world's biggest tea party. It's pretty vapid and empty overall. There are songs about brainstorming and where tea comes from, and an entire rap song by Freaky Fresh Gen 3 Spike after Minty backs into his turntable and canonically invents vinyl scratching in Ponyville. It's a well-blocked stage show brought to life by a miming track of the principal cast and a troupe of talented puppeteers, but man, if you make my mistake of having this be your first experience with Gen 3, you are in for some of the worst uncanny valley you've ever experienced. And then the internet happened. You could argue a bit on the exact timing of cultural shifts, but with my own experiences, Gen 4 was the first generation to launch into a world where it was assumed that most people knew how to navigate the World Wide Web. This means that if a show came out that you really liked, it was now easier than ever to find a group of people with a shared interest in your favorite show and join in on discussions about it. Today we call this a fandom, and I think the increasing connectedness of fans is largely responsible for what happened next. In 2010, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic was pitched to Hasbro by Lauren Faust and was originally picked up for 65 episodes. But due in some part to the absolutely unprecedented explosion in popularity, Friendship is Magic ran for an astonishing 221 22-minute episodes. That's over 80 hours of Twilight, Pinkie, Fluttershy, Rarity, AJ, and Dash, which means that the adventures of these 6 account for over half of all pony content in existence. That is insane to think about, but we're not even done yet. Things are gonna get a little out of order here, but bear with me because there is a ton of Gen 4 stuff, including the 2017 feature film My Little Pony the Movie, featuring a star-studded cast and a buttery smooth 2D animation style from Allspark Animation. Best Gift Ever, a holiday special released in 2018 between seasons 8 and 9 of the show. Rainbow Road Trip, a 2019 standalone special from the animation team that brought you the 2017 MLP movie. Friendship is Forever, a 6-episode clip show series released only in Australia in 2020 of Starlight and Spike going around to Twilight's friends to gather memories for a magical scrapbook they plan to give her at her coronation. 8 animated shorts, the first 3 of which were released as a supplement to 2018's Best Gift Ever. My Little Pony Established 1983, a set of 6 shorts from 2018 celebrating the franchise's 35th anniversary. I can't count a repackaging of the OG theme song or Do the Moonwalk, but it's my pleasure to tell you that you can watch Twilight solve a Rubik's Cube, Pinkie lead a jazzercise routine, 8-Bit Dash defeat Lord T-Rex, and an astonishingly faithful parody of the Full House theme sung by Gabriel Brown. See, back in 1987, Bob Saget was in a show called Full House. Rarity's Peek Behind the Boutique, 3 90-second segments where Rarity talks about all things fashion and self-expression with a really interesting watercolor aesthetic. Fundamentals of Magic, 5 shorts from 2017 and 2018 about Celestia teaching school ponies about all kinds of magic using frankly kind of gross filters of scenes from the show that were supposed to imitate drawings on a chalkboard. Not super wild on these. Baby Flurry Heart's Heartfelt Scrapbook, a series of 10 episodes released in 2016 about Pinkie making a scrapbook for Flurry Heart by way of touching on key moments from the series. This one has a really awesome looking stop motion felt look to it that really works. Hello Pinkie Pie, a 14-episode talk show hosted by Pinkie and Gummy about whatever they feel like talking about. 22 stop motion shorts starring cuter, smaller versions of the cast. Pretty harmless, but mainly an excuse to make people aware of the new show coming out, Pony Life. 40 episodes of denser, wackier, short-form misadventures of your favorite ponies. I won't talk about this one too much since I have a video coming out very soon that'll tackle it more in depth, but I like it. In terms of pony music, I don't really have to count much since a vast majority of released soundtracks contain exclusively songs that have already been played in their entirety on TV or the big screen. There are exactly 4 exceptions to this rule. A Pony Kind of Christmas is a 2015 Christmas album containing 10 tracks mostly comprised of public domain Christmas songs sung in character by the main 6 and Spike. It's super corny, and several of the songs had to be partially rewritten to remove religious references, but it's otherwise a really fun, goofy time. DJ Pone 3 presents My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Remixed, a 2015 album of EDM remixes of songs from the first 3 seasons. It's pretty good, but it's kind of undercut by the fact that fandom musicians have been doing EDM covers of songs since the show began. A mashup of Winter Wrap-Up and A True Friend that appeared as a bonus track on the 2015 soundtrack album Songs of Harmony. Yes, it's technically made up of 2 pieces of previously written material, but it appeared on an officially licensed CD, so I have to count it. And finally, I really truly hope that one of you here is about to listen to this for the first time.
Equestria girls were kind of magical. Boots on hoops, bikinis on top.
I don't know how many legal hoops they had to jump through to get the stars to align here, but in 2011, the Hub Network released a 90-second parody of Katy Perry's California Girls to promote the show. Visually, it's composed entirely of clips from the show, but the reason that I will loudly and proudly count this wonderfully bizarre brainchild is because someone had to call up Pinkie's singing voice, Shannon Chan Kent, and ask her to come into the studio to put together this 90-second TV spot on what feels like a whim. This entire thing is premeditated and it bops, so on the list it goes. Okay, that was a lot, but that's all of Gen 4, sort of. In 2013, Hasbro launched a spin-off that you may have heard of called Equestria Girls, which yanks the main 6 out of Ponyville and recreates them in a high school setting. Weirdly though, it totally works as long as you don't take it too seriously. Heck, sometimes I feel like it exceeds the core series sometimes. The spin-off began with a 2013 film called simply Equestria Girls. This was followed by 3 sequels: Rainbow Rocks in 2014, where the girls form a band, Friendship Games in 2015, where the girls battle a rival school in motocross and other activities, and Legend of Everfree in 2016, where the gang goes to camp. They also made a lot of shorts. Like a lot of shorts. 11 of them take place around Rainbow Rocks and feature the girls learning their instruments, plus a few music videos for good measure. 5 more shorts take place during the Friendship Games, and another 16 aired in 2017 under the title Summertime Shorts. Then, remembering that this is not at all in chronological order, we return to the specials. Over 2 weeks in 2017, Discovery Family premiered 3 specials in half-hour time slots. Dance Magic, about winning a music video competition, Movie Magic, about drama behind the scenes of the new Daring Do movie, and Mirror Magic, which is just as good an excuse as any to get human Starlight Glimmer involved. This was followed by 5 more double-length specials: Forgotten Friendship, Roller Coaster of Friendship, Spring Breakdown, Sunset's Backstage Pass, and Holidays Unwrapped, which has no reservations about simply being a winter anthology special. Then on top of all that, you have the 2017 to 2019 YouTube series Better Together, which is just an unconnected set of 51 2-minute episodes, not that I'm complaining at all, as well as a set of 19 Choose Your Own Adventure shorts, which fit right up there with the best slice of life stuff in the human world. To wrap things up here, you have these little promotional vignettes called Equestria Girls Minis, a series of 11 near-wordless shorts to promote a smaller, cuter line of Equestria Girls dolls that had just been released. At the beginning, I said I made this because I kept coming across content I'd never seen before, and that's a good problem to have. But I had to rewrite this video 3 times because up until a week ago, I was still coming across stuff I didn't know existed, stuff that a reasonable person wouldn't count as pony content. But because I wanted a comprehensive list, let's talk about the live-action stuff. From 2013 to 2017, My Little Pony's official YouTube channel released a series of 5 live-action music videos containing sort of remixes and medleys of songs from the Equestria Girls catalog, with shoots taking place in the cafeteria, the Rainbow Rock stage, and the Friendship Games. They're extremely well produced, and the wardrobe and set design did a phenomenal job conveying the character of these girls that don't have any dialogue here. And I accept that these music videos were not at all meant for me, but man, these remixes are so close to being awesome, but many of them default to corny rap verses with terrible syllable stress that list the traits of the characters involved. Heck, one of them is just the girls in a karaoke booth. But as well made as these are, the all-time chart topper of tenuous connections is Equestria Girls Forever, a music video made to promote the Better Together Equestria Girls series sung by Angelic, the original singer of the Equestria Girls theme, who got her big break that same year at age 9 when she did a cover of a Katy Perry song. No, not that one. Aside from cutie marks on their cruisers and motion graphics and the fact that the song has Equestria Girls in the title, you'd be forgiven for not thinking this has anything at all to do with the series. But the song's fine, so I can't complain. Gen 5 officially launched on September 24th, 2021 with the Netflix film My Little Pony: A New Generation. It's pretty good, you should watch it. The following February, Hasbro announced a pair of new shows that would air concurrently on Netflix and YouTube. The main series on Netflix, Make Your Mark, takes place over what are now called chapters, which are either sets of 8 episodes or individual specials. Chapter 1 is a 44-minute introduction, Chapter 2 is 8 22-minute episodes, and Chapter 3 is the holiday special Winter Wish Day. The other big flagship show for Gen 5 is Tell Your Tale, a series of short-form comedic episodes that premiere on YouTube centered around the new kids on the block. And finally, we get to put this list to bed with something really truly unique. My Little Pony the Podcast is an in-universe podcast hosted by Pip Petals and Jazz Hooves, where they interview other characters from the show. The only other in-character podcast I can think of is the Ron Burgundy podcast, and I was even skeptical back then. You can tell it's made for a really young audience, but it's fun to see these characters try to adhere to a more rigid structure. And I think that's everything. I just know that an hour after this video goes up, someone's gonna point out something I forgot, but I've never seen anyone put all the pony in one place before. How much pony? I'll show you at the numbers. By my count, as of December 10th, 2022, the day this video comes out, there have been 9,035 minutes, over 150 hours of pony content released in the last 14,119 days. That's nearly 40 seconds of content every day for the last 4 decades. I'm not saying you should, but if you wanted to pull 12-hour days binging the franchise, you could bring yourself up to speed in under a fortnight. If you're looking for recommendations, I think the original Midnight Castle special is worth it just to see how far the series has come. I also recommend the Equestria Girls specials Forgotten Friendship and Sunset's Backstage Pass, which have some really awesome writing and a really fun surprise cameo, as well as the World's Biggest Tea Party live show, if only for how utterly bizarre that whole thing is. And that's it. My Little Pony is going to turn 40 next year, and while I don't think you have to know the entire history of the franchise to enjoy yourself, it's a ton of fun to sit down sometime and browse just how much of it there is. Just know that everybody has a favorite era of MLP that they connect with, and that's okay. I'll be back in the first week of 2023 with something new, but until then, thanks for watching.